Welcome. This is Creating Cards with Sherry. I'm Sherry, and I'm so glad that you joined me today on this wonderful Wednesday. I have to apologize. Last night I did my Tickle Tuesday video, and for those of you who did happen to catch it, the sound wasn't working at all. We did a new setup on my videos, as you can see, and I did not know the sound was not working. So I had to get rid of that video and we're going to try this again. So this is a one wonder sheet second attempt. All right. I have done several of these already. I've done 3 of them already. And I'm just going to show you what I've done to give you an idea of the different things that you can do. This was the first set that I had made. And the thing that I wasn't really thrilled about with these is that even though I stamped the sheet ahead of time, there's so much space in between here that could have been filled. So that's something as I show you this that you will want to keep in mind. All right. The second attempt, and this is the one I did the video on last night, I used the beautiful butterflies and we got these made. And these I thought turned out pretty good. I was pleased with these. Okay. So that worked out well. Well, I didn't want to do another one with butterflies since I had already done that one. So I decided to take out an old set and we're going to try and do something with the irresistible blooms. But I did want to show you when we do this cutting, you can either cut this ahead of time and place your pieces where you want them, or you can stamp the whole sheet and then make your cuts. So I'm going to show you what I did with an old set of stamps. It was the Ladybug stamp set. And I'm going to show you what I did with that. I actually cut the pieces out and then stamped them. So I'll show you a few pieces as to what was done. And then today we're going to stamp the whole sheet and see what we come up with. Okay, so with the Ladybug set, I had this one and this one here. Thinking of you, and this one got a little, well, I don't know, it's not too bad. But those are the ones that I came up that I stamped with ahead of time and or I'm sorry, that I stamped on the pieces to make my cards. And the advantage of doing that is you can place your stamps where you want and make it look the way you want it to look. When you're doing the whole sheet, you're taking a chance, okay? So anyway, we're going to use the Irresistible Blooms. It's an older set, but we're going to see what we can do. Now, I would suggest that you start with the bigger stamps because they'll take up the most room. I'm going to be using our subtle colors today. Highland Heather, Fresh Freesia, and Bubble Bath, and then Lost Lagoon and Soft Seafoam. All right, so let's start with our Highland Heather. And I'm going to take the biggest stamp that came out of there. And I'm just going to start to stamp. And you just turn your sheet around, stamp it any way you want. Just get it all filled up. Yep. Let's see, let's go like this. And we'll do a few like this. And this is probably going to be the longest part of this project, is just putting all these stamps on here. All right, and then I'm going to put some in the middle. I have to make sure that I press down hard in my middle because my center of the flower isn't necessarily coming up here. All right, we have lots of those. All right, then I'm going to use, let's see, let's use Lost Lagoon. Here, we're done with this one, so I'm going to wrap it up here. Okay. Let's use these on here, and we'll put them sporadically around the page as well. And not every one of them will get a leaf because some of them are turned so that the bottom of the flower is going towards the outside. So not everything will get a leaf. All right, this one. Let's see. Whoops. Oh no. Oh well. That's okay. Just looks like a little shadowy to it. All right. We're going to end there right for now. And then I'm going to take my fresh freesia and I'm going to do the smaller flower. And we'll just stick that in wherever it looks good. There, we covered up that spot. What do you know? Okay. And then, oh, I think I found one more spot I want to put one. There we go. Then I'm going to take my soft sea foam and I put some smaller leaves in there. Let's see, and let's put these leaves wherever we think they're going to fit best. Okay. And then the last thing that I'm going to do is I am going to take my bubble bath. And this stamp set has some speckles. And those speckles just help fill in some of those empty spaces. So that's what I'm going to use it for. And we'll just put them wherever we deem best. How about that? Doesn't take long to get this stamped. Goes pretty quick. Okay. I think that pretty much does it. Get a spot up there and one there. And one more right there. All right, I've got my boundaries all taken care of. All right. Now, all you need for this one sheet wonder is one sheet of 8.5 by 11 paper. And we're using basic white because that's what we stamped all over. And I'm going to show you now where you would cut your lines to make your pieces for your cards. And we'll end up making 6 cards. All right. So first of all, you want to put your cards, your cardstock, your sheet in on a vertical. You want to put it in vertically, and we're going to go to 3.5 and cut that down. And then we're going to go to 3 inches and cut that. And then you'll have a 2-inch part. All right. And then what we're going to do is we're going to start and we're going to do these in the order that we originally cut them. This is the 3.5 piece, and I'm going to put it in horizontally. All right. And we are going to cut at 4 3/4. 5.5, and it will give you 3/4 inch strip after that. You can keep this or you can dispose of it, whatever you want. I will probably dispose of it, but you never know, you might find something that you like. All right, then we're going to take the 3-inch and we're going to start by putting this horizontally and making a 5.5-inch cut. Then we're going to take this and put it vertically, and we're going to cut it 2 inches, and that will give us a 1-inch strip. All right, and then we're going to take our 2-inch strip that we originally cut vertically. We're going to put it in here horizontally, and we're going to cut 5. And then we're going to make 3 2-inch squares. There we go. So now we have everything cut. And now we can just put it all together. We're going to use Stampin' Dimensionals today. And we're just going to put together what we want. I also, to save time, I made some sentiments that we can put on these cards as well. And usually what I like to do is just lay them out and see how I want to position them on the cards first so that I know kind of what I'm doing here. All right, there's that one. And then, oh, trying to remember what I did from my other set. Oh, this was the 2-inch that went straight this way. And then this one, I just made a separate piece on it. All right. And then we've got one more in my short cards. No, here we go. Underneath. Then we have a decision to make. Which one would make a good focal point? This one looks like it would make a better focal point. So I think I'm going to use that there and put this one here. This way. We'll do good. All right. Now you can do these on the different color cards like I did with these. And just, you can get your lavender or not lavender, Highland Heather and Bubble Bath and Fresh Freesia and so forth. And you can put them all on those colored cardstock rather than just the white. I just chose to do the white for this particular video. All right. Okay. Now, if you have a hard time getting these dimensionals out, I always have trouble with the first one at least. You can just stab, grab and stab is what I call it. You just grab it and you stab the paper off. Okay? All right, so let's see if I can do that again. Grab and stab the paper off. There we go. Oh, that one stayed on there. Got the paper off, but it stayed in there. I tend to find it easier to just take them out of the Stampin' Dimensional piece, and then I just stab, take all the paper off. I think that one's out. There we go. All right. And then we'll do this, and I'm going to have this card go in this direction because of the direction that the flowers are. Okay, then I have this one, and we are going to put some dimensionals on there. Oh, one more. There we go. Some people love packing on the dimensionals. I like to do as few as possible, but there are times when I feel like I have to put a lot on. It depends on what I'm trying to keep sturdy, I guess, would be the word. All right, then we have this one. Do I want it up that way or this way? Decisions, decisions. Okay. This One Sheet Wonder idea came from Ann Hellman, who is another Stampin' Up! Demonstrator. And I saw it on her website, and I was so thrilled to see how easy it was, because I know the One Sheet Wonders that I have done in the past were very detailed. I mean, I remember penciling and drawing lines as to where they needed to be, where the pieces needed to be cut and all that sort of thing. And this time, you just stamp and go, basically. So that's that one. Now this one, since I had this 1 inch piece left over, I'm going to add that to my other piece here. The thing that I like about the One Sheet Wonders is it makes several cards at one time. And so if you're in a hurry and you gotta get some things done, this is a great way to do it. And you can make them, all birthday or a variety of different sentiments. It's totally up to you what you want to do, depending upon the stamp set that you're using and so on and so forth. Earlier, I thought, ooh, this might even make a good Mother's Day set. So that's something to think about too. Okay, whoops, I went over a little bit. I'm going to have to trim that down. There we go. All righty. And then we have 2 more cards. There's this one. Trying to think if I just want to lay this out a little differently than the other ones. Okay, and then this one is our 3 squares. All right, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to set up my end pieces first. Yeah, I had it this way. And I'm just going to line it up on my paper. Whoop. That's up a little higher. There we go. And then the piece that I wanted to use as my focal point, I can put right in there. And voila, we have our 3 triangles. Okay, so there we have all our cards. Now all I have to do is decide what sentiments I can put on it. And you can add any embellishments, ribbon, anything like that on these cards to make them, just to give them that extra boost. All right, I want to make sure that I got these all going in the right direction here. Okay. All right, so let's see. Hooray, it's your day. Hello. Thank you. Let's do this one this way, and we'll go happy birthday. And I'll angle that. Thinking of you. Here's another thank you. All right. So we'll just add those to our cards then, and then we have them pretty much done. I haven't grabbed any embellishments. Oh, wait. I was thinking about possibly using my butterflies. So let's do this. Happy birthday, and then let's see what it looks like with the brushed brass butterflies is what they're called. I love these. They're so neat. All right. So I'm going to take one and I'm going to put it there. Okay. Well, this one, I'll put it down a little bit. There we go. All right. So that does help. That makes it look really nice. Okay. So that's what you can do. I'm not going to spend too much more time because we've already been at it. And I have now made 18 cards in 24 hours. And with all these different attempts. And thank you so much for understanding about my technical difficulties. And we'll make sure that it never happens again. All right. You have a fantastic week, and I will see you Sunday for my Simple Sunday video. Bye now.